everybody, Leo here. I wanted to put this together really quickly so that ahead of the upcoming SVS, we could uh, kind of get our batch healing automated to some degree for those of you who have the ability to install BlueStacks. Basically, if you have a PC or a Mac, this demo is on a PC. I'll work on getting one on a Mac as well. If you have the ability and you have a PC with sufficient power to run BlueStacks, then you can automate the healing process to a great degree. It takes a little trial and error, and you'll have to kind of play around with it a little bit. But since we've got a little time, you can maybe play with it a little bit before we get to SVS on Saturday. So let's kind of walk through here. BlueStacks already installed, all up to date. One of my farm accounts here. So if you enter your settlement and find your hospital. Now, one thing you want to do is you want to keep your hospital and you want to keep your assembly point close together. So as close as possible. You want to have them set up where you orient them so that when you click the assembly point or the lowest of the two, so if the assembly point is below orientation of the hospital, when you click the assembly point and click away, click it again, it doesn't really move your screen, right? And that's a really important aspect of this. So I'm gonna move this up just a little bit there, and when you click it, you see the screen doesn't relocate at all. So if we were to move it down and click it, you see the screen moves up. It orients so that you can see the different modes that you can click down here. So we don't want this. This is not what you want to have happen. What you want is this. Same thing when you click the hospital, and then you want to have a clear path to clicking the bubble, the help bubble that'll pop up here. So when you can ask for timer helps, it's going to pop up right above the hospital right here. It'll always be in this position. So when you do this, what you're going to do is record a macro that's basically going to automatically select the healing, and then exit healing, and then click the timer helps. This is super helpful because it will make batch healing so much less painful for you. So let me walk you through the creation of the macro process here. So in BlueStacks, you're going to have a toolbar on the right-hand side here, and you're going to use the macro recorder. So look through the icons, find the macro recorder, and then we're going to record a new macro. So record new macro. So give it about 5 seconds to charge up, just so that way it's ready to go. You're gonna click the hospital, important, and then click heal. And then in here, what you'll do is click quick select, and then you'll come in and you'll type a batch size, right? So I'm going to type 1 in this case because we're just going to heal 1 at a time. But you could do 100, you could do 1,000, you could do 5,000. Whatever batch size is going to heal within 15 to 20 seconds. So that might be 100 troops. It might be 500. It might be 5,000 depending on how many people are online and doing batch healing at that time. But you want to gauge that. You want this to get done in about 20 seconds because that's going to be the duration of the macro. So you are going to click OK, and then you're going to click heal, and then you're going to click timer helps, and then you'll click the assembly point, and then you're going to wait about 10 seconds. Now, the timer on this one's has gone way over because of me talking, but I'm going to do another one here in just a second. You'll click the hospital one more time, and then you'll stop the macro. It's going to record that macro in here, and it's going to be ready to execute, right? And so then the last thing you're going to do in order to make this automation complete is you're going to come over here in the settings, and you're going to just tell it to repeat execution indefinitely until stopped. And you'll click save. All right. Now I'm going to do one more here really quickly, just so that way I can show you the process and how it will happen fast. It'll look like batch healing because we're only healing 1 troop at a time. But if you apply the logic to a larger batch where you're healing an hour or 2 hours worth of troops, you're probably looking at between 4,000 and 5,000 troops for 2 hours, and so you would get those done in about 20 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds. Again, 20 seconds is your target. You can go a little bit longer with this. Um, 30 seconds I found sometimes works a little bit better if you have a bit of a laggy BlueStacks. But again, trial and error. You're going to have to kind of work through this. Um, so yeah, you probably during Fortress Fight, you're going to want to, build up a little bit of hospitalization so you can kind of toy with this and get it dialed in for SVS. All right, so I'm going to record an actual macro that I would use to do the batch healing, and I'm not going to talk at all during this, so let's do it. Okay, so I went ahead and recorded that for 30 seconds just because that's a real macro that I can use. Like that, I can reuse this on SVS with this account or anytime I want to batch heal. So so now let's just watch how it works. We'll just run it until it heals all the troops that I have that need healing. All right, here we go. So there's one batch. And the important thing to know about recording macros on BlueStacks is you have to perform some action, type on the keyboard, click the mouse, any action before you stop the timer. So if you're adding a delay into the macro, you have to perform an action right at the end in order for it to recognize and record that time between whatever action you did and then the wait period and then that last action before you stop the macro. If you wait, say 30 seconds at the end of your macro and then just click the stop button, what BlueStacks does is it actually truncates that time and the macro ends with the last keyboard or mouse action that was taken. So clicking the stop button or the stop recording macro button does not add an action to the macro. It just truncates it to the last action that you took. So that was very frustrating at one point in time for me because I couldn't figure out why my macros weren't working right. And then I figured that out, and now they work great. So there you go. I did not touch the keyboard at all since I started running that macro. All of those troops were healed without me even touching a mouse, keyboard, or a screen. So there you go. Hope that's helpful. Everybody have a great day.